Hello everyone, this is Funds from the Funds, and welcome to something new for the channel, because to be honest, I'm sure if some of you only watch me on YouTube and you don't follow me on other social media platforms like my literal main platform, Tumblr, you probably don't always know where to find me. So here's something new for you guys, and for those of course who also just keep up with me regularly on the blog, some new content for you guys, which is a sort of podcast. I'm calling it Webisodes because W's in the name, but hey, we're just gonna see what the vibe is. Today we're covering Pentagon. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. And this episode actually will have 2 parts, so keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, that's it, to be honest, because I'm gonna start trying to post some more things here that I'm not already doing on the blog. So hey, at the top of the list, number 1, will Pentagon see success after Boys Pointer, regardless of he winning or losing? So the answer that first came out for us is the Lovers in the Upright, and the peaking cards, the Devil, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Pentacles. It seems like, I guess, him maybe being in attendance, or at least being able to shine a light on the group, of course, much to my surprise, no roasty, is that this was the shift that was needing to happen to, sorry, I had to sneeze, this is kind of what just needed to come turn everything on its head, I guess, to change up the dynamics, because it seems like rather than them having something terribly fundamental missing, it just seems like there was something that was lacking to keep them from getting from the 9 to the 10. Like, I'm sure, some of them as individuals were making money, or even still making pretty good residuals off of, their old music. But the money was pretty okay, but it wasn't going the way that it probably could be, I guess, if that makes any sense. There's really not much else for me to speak on this other than the fact that the answer is likely yes, whether it's a win or a loss. So I guess let's clarify it even further and go into why/how. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about he, just to see what the vibe is. But and of course, don't mind it too much. We're probably going to be off to a little bit of a rough start until I get into a bit of a routine / understanding how this is going to go. Okay, so what's going to change that's even going to be leading them towards seeing success? The Fool, the Lovers, the 9 of Pentacles, and 3 of Wands. So it seems like maybe this is going to imbue he with like that strength that he was missing this entire time, help him with brothership, like sisterhood, brotherhood, whatever, making friends, also just kind of giving him the confidence that he didn't have before. Because funny enough, I also have a question on here that we're going to be answering. What led to the destruction of his spirit? Because I'm sure some of you, if you even keep up or even saw some clips, like, he was looking kind of sad. Like, for someone being so talented and established, all it takes is something to shatter your confidence, and then here you go, not being able to stand up to, people who haven't even done half the stuff you've done. But that being said, it just seems like this was just sort of something to kind of give him that confidence, to remind him he still got it. So if that means, him stepping up as Pentagon's main producer and leading them and leading the charge into, knowing that, they're not just running into the dark for no reason, it's for the better. So now we're going to jump into what led to the destruction of his spirit. Of course, some of it could have been the very public departure of, one of his dear, past members, that everybody knows this man's name now. But there could also just be some other reason. So let's just jump into that, of course. Okay, so the destruction of his spirit, 4 of Swords, King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Moon, the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Temperance, 10 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it just seems like, besides, of course, the company still being the one who has the reins, like, he kind of just allowed the atmosphere or the idea and all of the mutterings and the whisperings coming out of everyone's mouth to drag his feet into the ground or make him stand still so that the quicksand could just swallow him up from the ankles up to his ears. Like, he just kind of I mean, I guess this is gonna sound kind of messed up, but at least what it's giving is he He allowed himself to be swallowed up. He allowed their, the controversy to kind of suck him up instead of, maybe just coming out and showing out. So whether that means being on the show or if he could have, I don't know. That's a difficult situation because I'm sure he couldn't just go approach some company execs and, say like, we need to come out with a comeback right now. And here's, some tracks that I've made and we just need to keep it moving. Like if he had that option, that would have been great. But what it's just giving here is he just kind of allowed the idea that, the departure and all of the controversy that was starting to surround him from that drag him down to his feet. So he probably, I wouldn't say necessarily went into hiding, but he had to kind of go into his shell in some ways, in some regards with that. Because also it's like this, I guess, is giving a little bit of partner in crime energy, but also just somebody that he was looking to for expertise and growth. So maybe that it comes to, maybe they're producing things like that in that regard. He was able to help him out. And the fact that, your mentor is also gone was also very much just he felt like the rug was pulled out from under his feet. So, I mean, thus, yet again, your spirit being crushed makes sense. So, of course, with that being said, yeah, we got through some more lukewarm type of stuff. But if you thought that, I was not going to be reading for no tea, yeah, you got that sorely mistaken. One thing about here was we're going to get at that tea. So, if you haven't seen already, there was obviously some controversy with Boys Planet. The vibe was, there's a headdress and it was a quote unquote prank for them to wear during the photo shoot. And I'm sure maybe some of you have the mind or have the thought in your mind, like, did he know? Did he know? Because that's just part of the community, is that, controversies will happen and people will be like, well, what if this grown person didn't know? We ain't even gonna get into too many of the deep social politics of that. I'm just gonna pull for a straight yes or no. But I will indeed remind you that this is a grown man and he completed his education, if I'm not mistaken. And if he did not complete his education, there is such a thing as the internet. So, was he aware of the implications during the headdress prank? The answer is an absolute resounding yes, the lovers. So, either he knew that it was a setup, or he was purely okay with it. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But no, take with that what you will. The answer is a likely yes. So, now, let's see. What is he going to do after Boys Planet? Besides, that I'm not going to, pull for any spoilers. Will he make it the final line? I don't know. I just want to know, what is he going to do after the program in terms of maybe going solo prospects, like TV roles, promo. What's the vibe going on with that? So, it's such a strange thing because I keep seeing these same set of cards for him. And right now, it hasn't really struck me why. But we'll get there if we get there. So, the solo prospects, what the whole vibe is post Boys Planet, post the airing, is the Queen of Swords, High Priestess, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Reverse Knight of Wands, the Moon, the Sun, Ace of Wands. So, it seems like Boys Planet, if at all, was aiding him in his growth somehow, or helping him break out of some things that maybe he has been holding on to in terms of maybe traits or, natures and habits that, just weren't for the best for him or his brand, or just, him growing up in general. Because obviously, with what it is with a lot of idols is they spend their formative years, especially in older adolescents, doing this for work. But anyways, what the vibe is for sure we probably are going to see him appear a couple different places. For sure, we're going to see his face. Let's say, for example, if Jesse's Shelter View was still around, he's going to be popping up there. But aren't they're redoing Shelter View with who was it? Sunmi, IU, one of the famous ladies. But I can see him appearing on things where he's on the main screen. Even if, I don't even know if Hello Counselor is still in existence. That is a whole show in and of itself. But he's going to be in our faces. He's going to be in the public for a little bit of time, showing his face, doing his thing, because he's already very acutely aware that as soon as the chain reaction is set, that people are seeing him and rooting for him, that he has to do something with that He has to do something with that wave, with that period of time that's going to come through and help him reach a different peak, and see if he can kind of ride the wave of momentum to keep it going before it might evidently or eventually die down, unless he does his best with it. However, something here is like he still has this, like, well, I guess it's kind of natural for a celebrity in general, but this worry that at any moment it could all be taken away. And if this is possibly due to, like, you know, the emotional trauma he might have endured, or the difficulties he endured from, you know, the past controversy with a member leaving, and then everything was just looking weird and funky, and everyone is, you know, always cracking jokes about their Triple H stuff. It's like, he's so, like, ready to do something, but he's so scared that, like, did I do all this for nothing? Like, the anxiety there is very palpable. But I don't know. I hate that for him, because he's so freaking talented. And any of you who, of course, are fans of Pentagon, or even just have seen Pentagon over the years, know that, like, he's not a shortage of a vocal at all. So it's just like, where is all of this fear coming from? Who broke you down? Who broke your spirit? But thus so it is. So moving in, what is affecting, that was loud, what is affecting Pentagon's success, right? Just in general right now, what was impacting them as of this moment? Because it's been a little while since we've, you know, had to deal with any news or anything surrounding the controversy, because now Hyuna and Dawn were their own entity as a couple, and are now like their own separate entities as people who are, you know, no longer dating, who could be messing around on the side. But in part 2, we will be addressing that. Hint, hint. But what is affecting their success right now? What's holding them back? Because I don't know. I can tell you out of my mouth, though, before I even touch these cards, social media right now is huge. And I don't know why their train has been so late to arrive to the station, because I subscribe to them. I have notifications on, but I'm not seeing any content. I'm not seeing nothing. I can't speak to Twitter because I don't even be on Twitter like that anymore. But if I remember correctly, back when I was on Twitter, there still wasn't much going on. Treating it like it's third gen. And you know, there's nothing wrong with such. It's just it could be something that could be helping them, I guess. So, not too much. What is affecting their success? That was quick. That was quick. Hold on. Okay, so 9 of Cups, the Emperor, 4 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 10 of Swords, the Fool, Knight of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So straight up, like I just told you out of my mouth, however, only, even though I only focus on one aspect, what's messing everything up and upsetting everything is literally the fact that they still do everything the old ways. And even though the old ways for them, not like maybe necessarily the group, but let's say more so their management is doing everything the old way, because that's how they know. The old fashioned, there's nothing wrong with it. It's tried and true. It's already established. Everybody knows what the gag is when it comes to that. However, it's making growth more abundant. It's doing just enough to maybe kind of pay the bills, you know, keep the lights on. But it's not doing anything extravagant, because, you know, as there is a difference between surviving and there is a difference between living. I'm not saying I don't know what the vibe is. I'm not saying these people are poor by any means, because the fact that, you know, they still have apartments, they still keep the lights on, it says something. Like I said, it gets the bills paid. But in terms of them actually being able to do something with that and stand out, it's doing literally nothing for them, and they need to stop acting like, you know, it's the freaking K-pop Stone Age. You know, we have flying cars metaphorically when it comes to K-pop. And there's also just this strange thing here, which it seems like the group is being sabotaged and bled out a little bit. So I don't know if that's the company is trying to, you know, their best to starve them out, so, you know, they do not have to do too much when it comes towards contract ending. So they can kind of just cut him off, cut the rope, and move on and start something anew, like start a new group. But I don't like that very much at all. But hey, let's you know, maybe get into something a little lighter before we get into the darker aspect in terms of what could metaphorically save them, besides, of course, you know, the aspect of social media and trying things, though that's, I guess, more modern things that involve taking risks. I keep seeing these same cards. Okay, so the 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands, the Moon, King of Swords, 3 of Cups, 6 of Swords, Page of Cups, 5 of Swords, Page of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. So straight up, it seems like what could metaphorically save them, besides like what I just said, is for one, stop overworking them, stop doing the same things over and over again. Because look, I know y'all guys enjoy you some shine, and I enjoy me some shine, but that gum, if they are not the people who are the most tired, the performers themselves tired of performing this song, I wouldn't know who is. It just seems like now, what would save them if the company, like, let's say, were to just suddenly have a change of heart, the management were to have a change of heart and want to save them and make some money, they're gonna stop looping. They're gonna stop having them do the same things and stop working them so hard to keep doing the same stuff, while also simultaneously starving them. But like I said, there's just this strong air, even in the peaking cards, yet again, of sabotage, that they don't want them to do well. They don't want them to take off, because they kind of just want to cut them loose once, like, you know, it's legally possible, whether it comes to like contracts, so they can just start fresh with a whole new boy group, almost like akin to how some parents will, you know that they did a terrible job with their oldest child, so they're thinking, we'll do better with the next one, even though the oldest still lives in the house. Yikes. So next, will Pentagon leave Cube the company? Which does leave implications for, you know, are they just going to leave and go to a different company? And of course, we will follow this up with, will they disband? And what, lastly, to wrap up our episode, what's going to be their collective energy status? What's going on with them? So first, will they leave Cube? Okay, so will Pentagon leave Cube, the Knight of Cups, and the Magician, or will they disband? This is, of course, presumably whenever contracts go up. It seems like some of them could be leaving. There might be some of them who decide to stay for the company. If you can even think of anyone who seems to be actually making some money and being able to do something and make a living with what they get from Cube. I don't know. But there's going to be somebody who seems to stay behind, because they still have this blind thought that, like, if they just sit there, you know, and keep all of their eggs in this singular basket, that all of a sudden something is going to change. But I don't really presume so. But hey, to each his own. And will they disband? The Magician is leaning towards likely yes. So it seems that I guess that means Cube will be gaining some soloists later, for some reason, and maybe they will not perform as a group, but who knows. This also could leave the potential that maybe even though some of them stay with the company, others will go elsewhere and they'll still perform as a troupe, as a group, if they are allowed to do so. But I would say, so as of this moment, at the time of reading, because never, like, tarot's a forecast, anything could change, it's more than likely when contacts go up, they could disband. But that's only if the conditions meet what's going on. But who knows? I don't know. I don't really like that for any of them, because so far I would say they need to move on with their lives, because it ain't doing shit for them right as of this moment. But hey, so now let's wrap up this episode. This was a little bit awkward, a little bit droning, but we'll get there when we get there. One step at a time. What's their collective energy status? Okay, so collectively, the Tower, the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles overall, Temperance, Nine of Wands, Seven of Wands, Two of Swords again, Ace of Swords, Page of Cups. It seems like at least a good majority of the members are kind of trying to figure out what the next move is for them. Some are in denial that, let's not say in denial. some of them are still holding out on like a hope and a dream that the group is going to have their big takeoff moment. However, of course, I can say for sure it's still very much possible for them. But as of this moment, they kind of don't really want to believe the fact that the company has like nothing but that the company has, bad intentions for them. They refuse to believe so because, look at all this time they've invested in training periods and money and going places and making music and trying their best to take off. So they're still holding out on a prayer in that regard. But others are really just planning for whenever it's time to fly out, pack up, move on, go make some money, figure out what the career vibe is. There might even be a member who's planning to work maybe like an ordinary pedestrian, actually, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, it seems like in terms of worrying about their current career as a collective, it's not looking amazing for them. However, on the bright side, it seems that at least in daily life and normal procedures, all of them seem to be doing pretty okay. I don't know. I didn't really love this energy for them because there's just something surrounding them that says that, their company, the management, does not really give a motherfucking shit about them. They don't give a fuck about them. That's just what the gag is. But anyways, this is all I have for y'all on that. If you have any questions, of course, pop them below. Go run over to the blog and, leave me a comment, leave me an anon, send me a DM. Of course, all of my information for paid readings are going to be over on Tumblr, so run over that way. See what the gag is. Go ahead and, I guess, stop here or, watch to the end for my watch time. I don't really care about that too much. And part 2 will be up sometime soon. So, thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or whatever time you listen to this. Goodbye.